So let's attach the paper fastener switch and use it in a real, in one of the real models. So there was the original modified switch, but let's say you wanted to be able to operate the switch from further away and have control over the motor turning on and off. So what we need to do is join the two together. So why not take off the one we've already modified there. There it goes. So what we've got is one of the wires, and it doesn't matter which one, but I've chosen just that one that was nearest really. And we need to link together these two wires here. So both wires from the switch are identical, and it doesn't matter which of the two wires from the motor you use. Now, these two wires do not go back onto the switch there. We need to keep them out of the way. So a good idea is to fold them up, look, get them nice and small, like that, and then just get a little piece of tape and cover it over. There's our little bit of tape. And we can conceal that later on. So now what we need to do is say, right, one connection is already made on the battery. We don't have a connection on the other side, but we only have one wire left. So effectively what we're doing is the electric current that flows through the switch and back out must return to the battery. So it wasn't all that difficult really, was it? So now we need to replace the paper clip, and I would put it back in its normal sort of mode, like that. If you bend the paper clips too many times, of course, we're going to snap off those little fine little metal arms that we've got. So same as usual, sleeve, tiny bit of bare wire pushed through, it sticks out like that. There it is, and then pop the fastener back in, and this makes a much better connection back to the battery. Push it down really firmly. So now let's hook that back in place. There it is. Right, let's have a look. Let's get that nice and flat. Now remember, you can always use, I've got the wires tucked under, but you can always use an additional piece of sticky tape in order to hold things flat, so that we're not always sort of having to, you know, when you move things, you can move the battery connection, but if you hold them with a bit of sticky tape when you're happy about the final position that you've got and you don't want them to move anymore, then sticky tape's a great way to do it. Just masking tape rather than sellotape though. So let's pop on a little spinning disc. Now it's much more convenient for us to operate the switch without having to move those connections. And remember, we could make a very, very simple pointer, and the pointer could, have I got one made already? I'm sure I did have. And the pointer might well be able to be used in connection with this if you made it into a game. So here's our little pointer. Hold for 2 seconds, let go, 2. So you know, it's a way of replacing a dice in a game and perhaps making it more interesting and making as many different sort of options as you possibly can with words, text, characters, spelling games are possible, all sorts of things. Or what about that game where they do it at a village fair or something like that, and what you do is you all buy a raffle ticket and then they spin the wheel, and then whoops, number 2, oh 3, just checking it is random here. It always wants to land on 2. Oh no, it's got to be a world record, that. You could easily cheat. Oh, miss 2 goes, that's what you get. So just at a village fair where you might want to spin a wheel, you might have to have a lot more numbers. Get a raffle ticket. If your raffle ticket comes up as a number on the wheel, you win a prize. So maybe it's a miniature version of what you do at a fete or a fair. Fabulous. So that's our very simple paperclip switch in operation. Of course, you can use it with a magnet again. There it goes. And there's the magnet. Fantastic.